Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rambo Brambo 42, and I hope you enjoyed that time lapse right off the bat. Now, to give you a little bit of background knowledge on that, this wasn't planned. No, 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 no. That is right. There was no creative building process or anything. I knew the basic layout of the farm. I did not know the facade. And overall, eh. I mean, I'm not really impressed with it. I'm hoping it grows on me. I think maybe it's a little top heavy with the trim. I don't know. We'll see. But well, it's almost nighttime. We'll have to sleep here soon. But hopefully before we do that, I can kind of give you a quick rundown on it. You may have noticed that in the video, I put some trapdoors right up there. I knew villagers can't fit underneath there. I think they're 3 blocks high. Yeah, hitbox is 3 blocks high, but their field of vision was under 2. But I just wanted to be a little safe. I lowered this down. So the premise of this is real simple. I put 4 villagers on pod. They find their workstations. Their inventory is going to be pretty much full of seeds. So whenever they are plucking this crop and replanting seeds, they won't be able to put down wheat. Hey, Future Rambo here. I ended up learning a few things, and kind of felt like now in this video was the best time to bring them up. For one, turns out if you AFK at a farm overnight with replay mod running and have over a 14-hour clip, doesn't really work, you know, especially no rendering everything. So you may have noticed that after the time lapse, you just saw the empty top with just the wheat, and all of a sudden the facade popped on. Yeah, that's why. Also, let me go into my first person view here. You may be wondering about the collection system, because when I was talking about the description of how this farm works, it just abruptly cuts. Turns out I wasn't recording on that one. So, stupid me. But anyways, this is the classic collection system. You may remember back when I did the slime farm that it wasn't really working. Turns out, and I knew this, I should have known it, but it's just one of those things that slips your mind. If you have this system, this comparator picking up the signal from this hopper, and this hopper is going into another hopper, it's actually too fast of a signal for this to shut off in time. Your hopper has to go into a chest. And that's how it registers the signal long enough for it to stop the cart and it unloads completely. You're welcome if you're stupid like me. Now you know. I just kid. Everyone makes mistakes, right? And lastly, you may be wondering, well, once these go into this chest, where are they going? Well, I just simply ran a hopper line from that one all the way down to here. And then I hooked it up to the hopper line that connects to this farm. So everything gets pushed into the main sorting system there. And I also ended up solving a problem. I would say it's intentional because the spacing on this. You know, can you tell that this is about, I don't know, almost a month later that I'm recording this? But this is all chunk aligned. I've had these cards running, you know, off and on pretty much non-stop. And I've even left the area to other areas, went through nether portals and whatchamacallits. And not a single time have these carts stopped. So that really does show you how much it is important to chunk align all your minecart builds, minecart collection systems. But anyway, now it's raining. Let me hop under here. We'll go ahead and go to the next clip. Enjoy. So here we are over at the item collection center, and we ran across a problem already. So when I built this farm, the expected rates were probably about 180 to 230, but after running it, we're looking closer to about 320 to 420. Nice. But yeah, I mean, it is a good problem to have, and I believe I'm already almost filled up one column of the wheat. And the main issue at hand is going to be the wheat seeds. On top of that, we're already almost filling up with the cactus, the beetroots, the potatoes are already filled up, and I believe the carrots are pretty close to being that way too. To kind of prevent the lag from, hitting the server, I ended up putting the flame there. But this is a waste. And, that I could be doing some work with those resources. And then I got a little spark of inspiration. So I got busy coming up with this little idea. And what it is going to be the main bone mill converter in this entire area. I know a previous episode, I think I probably hit it around the third or fourth episode, making a giant moss farm by El Mango. Those typically get used as bone mill farms all the time. But until I get to that point where I can build that, we're going to be relying on this guy. And, running through it's kind of ingenious. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but pretty much, we have all these water pipelines and everything running about. And the way I set this up is it should be 8 chests long. Nailed it. Yeah, I meant to do that. It should be 8 chests long, meaning our water source should end right before we get to the next water source. And also, for all you don't know, glow lichen. If you need to stop a water source from merging into another one, you can use glow lichen instead of like half slabs or pressure plates. I didn't know this. I actually was watching a Doc M77 video and he mentioned it. This is awesome. I mean, that really doesn't affect items, and I mean, pressure plates sometimes. I remember in those pipelines, I ran into that issue where the pressure plate would stop an item. So this is awesome. I may actually end up going and switching all those pressure plates out. But anyways, I digress. So it doesn't matter where I put the items in on this what corner. This with the ender chest on both sides, even if I shoot it up against the stream, it won't get collected here, but it's going to get pushed up against this one, aligning it and, getting sucked into these hoppers. These hoppers, I believe I double hoppered it where, let's see, whoop, there we go. We'll have the hopper, this hopper pulls it off of the water line, this hopper puts it into the composter, and then we have the start of the chest underneath it. So yeah, 4 sides. It's going to eventually all fill up. I mean, that's the beauty of this thing. It's going to be a endless loop. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what happens if, all of your farm fills up? Well, I think I may be able to put an overflow protection by maybe, well, actually, no, it really wouldn't matter. Because at that point, those items would have already been out for almost over 5 minutes. So they would naturally despawn. If it does become a bit of an issue, then I will probably end up just cutting out one slice of this and putting a item disposal center. And I mean, we got plenty of room to work with on the innards here. And something like this, we definitely don't need to be on the inside for any reason. So yeah, it might work. And in case you're wondering, well, what are these composters here for? These were just place markers to see if I could line everything up right. So we'll just get rid of that like so. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nifty design. I mean, I normally, I kid you not, I probably thought about this 3 or 4 different times of where to place it. And I don't normally put all my builds this close together. I kind of like to, span them out. But in the case like this, with, majority of all the compostable items coming from this section, I kind of wanted to put it right next to everything. That way, well, I mean, everything was loaded. But eventually, I mean, we we may end up making another one for the other side. Or I could go into a creative test world and see if I could run a pipeline from all the way over there and the other square that we dug out. I don't know. I digress again. This is more food for thought, future projects, and nothing I'm anywhere near. But yeah. So that's what I've been doing, and I think after this clip, we'll go ahead and get back to our normal programming. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all what Hakoma found for me. That's right, I was looking for something very specific on this map. And if you remember from the previous episode, I don't have chunk base anymore since the seed no longer jives with anything I could really render from a computer program. So I'm blind here. And I went about 10,000 blocks off in this distance, and 10,000 that one, and that one, and that one. I got depressed, couldn't find it. So, I asked Hakoma, and she found it in about 15 minutes. Go figure, right? So, anyways, here's that. So, you may be wondering, Rambo, why do you need a mushroom biome? Well, this is going to be an industrial district, and if I press F3 and hold that down like so, we take a look at that. Up at top, you see I got 60 frames per second. Back at my home base, I'm averaging about 20, 25. Got a lot of entities and everything, plus chest, hoppers, it's lag galore. And over here, I want this to be a new industrial district, and so I need to make sure that I don't lag, especially with TNT dupers and, well, mobs in general, since mobs cannot spawn in mushroom islands. So, maybe the fear is unwarranted, but I just kind of feel like a mob walking in the middle of a farm, hitting a piece of TNT falling, and, busting up on my redstone. Will it happen? Probably not. But it's better to be safe than sorry. And the funny thing is, I think maybe earlier in this episode or the previous episode, I had mentioned that I had flown probably about 10,000 blocks in the cardinal directions, northeast, west, south, and I couldn't find this. Well, this turns out that it is south of my base and only by a few hundred blocks. If we take a look behind us, you see this weird chunk border, how the terrain was generated. Turns out that if we go right this way, a couple of blocks, I can show you something. I thought that this was pretty weird when I found it. It turns out that when I flew south, this is what I saw. So literally, it was right across. If I would have just turned and flew, I would have found the mushroom island right off the bat without finding everything else. But some good did come of me exploring a little bit extra. That's right. About 10,000 blocks away from my base, I ended up coming across a woodland mansion. I haven't cleared it out yet. I figure I would do this on camera, but definitely not in today's episode. If you remember back in the second episode that I put out, I had talked about maybe doing a Resident Evil style build. And in the Resident Evil games, if you all aren't familiar with, there's typically a mansion. And underneath the mansion is a huge laboratory. And I figured, I'm going to need a lot of quartz and redstone and, a bunch of the, latter game resources that you get. And that's why I've been really grinding out these farms. So, I just got a few more farms to build, and I think we're going to start tackling this project. Oh, and you may have wondered, why is there so much water? Well, it turns out there was a lava pool next to it, and I don't have fire insurance on this place yet. As soon as I found it, it actually almost burnt to the ground. But yeah, I saved it just in time. So one of the cool things about waiting to find the mansion until now is actually having the extra depth below the mansion to make that laboratory. And, with the extra square footage, this kind of gives us a unique feature that we can add to the Resident Evil build. And if you remember correctly, in the movies, there's all those different variations of zombies and monsters and everything. So I kind of want to add a little challenge to this. I kind of want to collect every mob type in the game and kind of make a little prison cell for them inside there, just to give it a little bit of lore. So, I think that's a good challenge to add to this future project. On top of that, I kind of want to hire Hakoma to help me redo this forest area. There's going to need to be a lot of what's it, terraforming, getting rid of all this water, putting land, building up the forest. Most of these mansions have like a huge garden with a maze in them, just to try to make this as game-like as possible. But yeah, this is going to be a really cool future project, and I honestly cannot wait to get started on it. But I think that's enough of that right now. Let's go ahead and head back to the main base area. Well, hello there. Future Rambo here. Turns out I forgot to mention a couple of key things. I know, I get distracted all the time. Turns out I forgot to show you I got sheep. That's right, started the breeding process. I also have a buttload of hay. And I know what you're thinking. Well, that's kind of cruel, just, showing them right in front of there. They can't get to it. Well, too bad. But yeah, just going to keep breeding these guys up. I believe I got 144 of them to go. I don't know. I got to crunch some numbers. I just know I need a metric butt ton of them. And then on top of that, I'm going to be putting that farm way out there in the ocean. Mainly because... oh, crap. I messed that up. Anyways, camera angle. Go over here, like so. This farm is going to be massive just because there's going to be a lot of them. And I don't want to cover up the entire industrial district with the sheep farm. So, yep, that's the plan. They're going to get transferred over there once I get enough bread up. And they're going to be dyed and collecting wool for the rest of their Minecraft lives. Oh, glorious days. Anyways, let's get back on track here. And jump cut. We're back at the home base area, and we got the bone meal center completely done. Let's stick the landing. Nailed it. First shot. Okay, so we have the extra items shooting out of tubing going up top. It gets realigned with these ender chests up top. I numbered each side, signifying to any of the future server members which side fills up first. It's been running about full capacity, probably about 2 hours, and we already have a double chest and a half full. Yeah, I make the bone mills. This thing was kind of, done haphazardly. Truth be told, it does have its few flaws, and we'll cross that bridge whenever the time comes. But, I don't plan to be spending that much time in this area much longer. That's right, I don't plan on spending that much more time in this area. This is going to be the sugarcane farm, and we got this other hole that was supposed to be a slime farm. This is going to be a bamboo farm. Once those two farms are in here, maybe I will end up putting a storage system in for bulk storage. I don't know yet. I did kind of have a idea floating in the back of my mind. Maybe having a massive storage system. We're talking silos, shulker loaders, and, impulse SV storage systems. Going all the way across through here. Because every motherboard, it has to have a graphics card, right? And I'm kind of mowing over the idea of maybe building a massive RTX 3090. All the way going across, 3 fan galore. I mean, heck, as you can see, I know how to make a fan now, so. But, yeah, after that, I think it's just going to mainly be making this place look pretty. So you may be wondering, well, Rambo, why are you going to be moving away from the area once you get those done? Those farms are going to be pretty lag intensive, so once I'm done with that, I would be lucky to get 25 frames per second in this area. So I think it's getting close to the time where we kind of start, finishing up this area, kind of prettify it and all that jazz, and then moving on. I mean, heck, I already kind of alluded to the Resident Evil build. That's going to be a project of itself, and this is always going to be a base of operations. So, I mean, I'm going to need materials from here. That was pretty much what its purpose was. But anyways, I've been rambling. I think we're going to go ahead and call that the episode today. I know we didn't get the sheep farm done, but I guess that just means that that's going to be for next episode. Heck, may even do a collab with Hakoma. After all, she owes me, right? I fixed all of her redstone, made her a pretty storage system and whatnot. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. I hope you all are excited about the future plans of the server. And like always, I mean, if you enjoyed it, got anything out of this, please consider giving a like and a sub to this channel or episode. Every little bit's greatly appreciated. I'm Rambo Brambo 42, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye.